to show an application I've been working on, AI assistant called Memory Atlas. That's for kind of household and personal organization and stuff. And just to give a kind of an example of the issue, here's an example of me just asking for a meal plan from ChatGPT, and of course it comes up with one, but it has nothing to do with me, right? This is not a meal plan for me. This is just a meal plan for a generic person. It feels inspired by food blogs, really. Like for some reason, I'm eating a different thing for breakfast every day because that's what meal plans online look like, not what meal plans that real people have. Um, so I'll show a little bit about how this works, but the first thing, the thing that got me working on this is that I wanted to do a um, project to try to declutter around the house. And one thing I thought is that, oh, well, to declutter me, I should actually get an idea of everything that I have in my house. And I started this project just in an ad hoc way, and now I'm kind of making a tool that makes this possible. So I'm going to add these things to the food inventory. It always starts with voice because I want to get context. I don't just want to have like generic things here. So, all right, I'm on the first floor, the white bookshelves in the living room, and I'm looking at the left bookshelf, the second one down. So now I have a location. Uh, Here's a book, Winter in Wartime. I'm pretty sure that this is one that my mother gave for my daughters to read. She recommends it personally. Chaos on Catnet. And then you don't have to necessarily take pictures either. On the first bookshelf is a 5-pound dumbbell. So stop it there. Now it's going to spend a little time transcribing and then a little bit more time for the LLM to actually parse that. So it's looking at the transcription and the images interweaved and gets to use both of those things. All right, we can go back, and this is my general home inventory, right? So if we look at winter and wartime, see that it's recommended by user's mother. Well, I need to change the prompt there so it knows who I am. But it's one example of like how you can collect a bunch of information about things. Since once you have that information, you can ask things. So, for instance, I might ask, any humorous books. So it has this opportunity to like search. Now you see that big thing. I should really hide that because the idea is that the AI searches.
You have humorous books. Space Cows on the first floor, reading room's top shelf. Son of Mad and In Mad We Trust in the living room on the left bookshelf. Third shelf down.
So these search results, and we could go over here and look for, you know, do a regular search here and see what we get. We get some stuff. It's like, but this gives the AI a chance to kind of reinterpret that. Another thing that we want to be able to do is obviously like have actions and do things. So here, let's make a new to-do list. And right now it's kind of empty. And we're going to try this time doing it with kind of discussion mode. So it's also driving mode. This would be something you could use in the car where all the... Okay, I'm going to make a packing list for going to Puerto Rico. What do you think I should consider putting on the list?
Consider adding these items to your packing list for Puerto Rico. 1. Clothes for warm weather. 2. Swimwear. 3. Sunscreen. 4. Hat and sunglasses. 5. Flip-flops or sandals. 6. Lightweight rain jacket. 7. Camera or smartphone. 8. Travel documents and wallet.
Those all sound good except for the travel documents and the wallet. That doesn't really need to be on the list. So put all those on the list.
I've added the items to your packing list. 1. Clothes. 2. Toiletries. 3. Electronics. 4. Medications. And 5. Snacks.
See, it's actually formatted somewhat differently because it's not meant to be read so much as spoken. And it's aware kind of what goes on if I check things off. Here I'll be like, check that off and be like, oops, I checked something off, but I didn't actually mean to. Can you undo that? So we had this.
Medications marked as not completed. Here's your current packing list: clothes, toiletries, electronics, medications, and snacks.
And then we have,
Here's your packing list: clothes, toiletries, electronics, medications, snacks.
So we have these different ways of like interacting. We have the main way, this assistant that has this opportunity. We also have an onboarding here that it's twice, but this is an opportunity to get to know you personally. He, him.
What other members are in your household?
Turn off speech there. I have my wife, Emily, and my 2 daughters, Ada and Willa. And as it's doing this, it's also updating a document that's going to be used as this. I have a few issues here, but you see it's created some stuff about Emily, and I'm not exactly sure why it had a problem with Ada and Willa there. I'll have to look into that. But the idea is that you have both like basic things that you learn, and then there's also like it's open space to learn details that are very specific and important. Like let's say somebody has a handicap. I'm not going to have a custom field for handicap, but it's something that probably would be very important to a whole lot of details or a whole lot of things in your discussion. As you see, there's kind of a number of voice inputs. So this is kind of meant to be an on-the-go sort of tool in a bunch of different ways. I haven't exactly figured out the right set of these, but we can have a one-off question where it'll just listen for one question. Then as soon as you have silence, obviously you can type. You can keep the microphone on, so you can have it kind of sitting there. One thing that I find is quite intriguing here is to have voice off, leave the microphone on, and you can have it listen to a conversation or do something with, like, let's say I want to talk about a packing list with someone. It will listen in and can essentially create that document as you're going along, even though you're not actually paying attention to it. And it works quite well. Voice only. You can toggle the voice on and off. I obviously need to consolidate this into some more details. There's other kinds of things we can have, a journal. So the idea of these different documents, I need to find a different way to describe this, but it's different things you can work with, and then once you're working with them, it behaves differently, right? So here's like a journal, and if I say something in the journal, today I was able to fix an issue with how the chat display shows up over documents. So in this case, like a journal is not something that's like highly interactive. It's about recording things. And so now that's recorded in today's journal entry. And kind of building these out, these custom purpose-driven documents and lists and that are built on each other with interactions that are deliberately for each of these things. So that's what I'm working on, to try to like be both like a thinking partner, but also a repository for information, both like immediate information, but also long-term information about what you have and where it is, and what your kind of basic behaviors are, all to create an assistant that's really custom to you.